The twin suns of the planet Xylar shone brightly over the tall silver towers of the royal city. From his throne, King Therax watched the city below with proud eyes. His kingdom was one of the strongest in the galaxy, ruled by the Xylari, a race known for their power and strict honor. The king's daughter, Princess Liara, was famous across the stars. She was strong, clever, and beautiful. Many warriors wished to fight for her hand, but the king kept her close, protecting her from dangers outside the palace walls. Liara obeyed her father, but inside she longed for freedom and adventure. One calm morning, the sky changed. A strange shape appeared in the atmosphere, moving fast and silent. The royal guards raised their weapons and watched carefully. It was a ship unlike any Xylar had seen before. It was round and smooth, shining with light. The ship landed near the city gates, causing shock and fear among the people. King Therax felt a cold feeling in his heart. His advisors came quickly and told him the news. The visitors were humans, a species from a distant planet called Earth. Humans were unknown to Xylar, but rumors said they were fierce fighters with strange technology. A man in a simple uniform walked out of the ship. He was not tall, but carried himself with great confidence. His dark eyes scanned the palace in a calm way. He asked for an audience with the king. The king's guards looked at each other nervously, but allowed him to enter. The human introduced himself as Commander Marcus Kane. He spoke slowly but clearly in the Xylari language, which was surprising. The king listened, but he was proud and did not like this stranger's boldness. Marcus said he came with a message of peace and a request. "I have come to speak with your princess," Marcus said simply. "She must come with me to the court of Earth for talks. It is urgent." The king's face darkened. "My daughter is not yours to take," he said coldly. "She will not leave Xylar without my permission." Marcus smiled slightly. "Then I will take her. The galaxy will watch how you treat her after." King Therax's guards moved to stop Marcus, but the human moved faster. With calm skill, Marcus bypassed the guards and stepped toward the princess's chambers. The palace was large and full of corridors, but Marcus seemed to know where to go. Inside the royal chambers, Princess Liara was preparing for the day. She heard footsteps and voices growing closer. Before she could react, Marcus stood at her. "Door!" "Princess Liara," Marcus said respectfully, "you must come with me now." Liara looked at him, shocked and angry. "Who are you to order me? I serve my father and my kingdom." Marcus bowed slightly. "I am a human, and I bring a chance for peace and strength. Your father watches, but he cannot stop this." Liara's heart raced. She felt a strange pull, fear mixed with curiosity. The king's guards ran to her door, but Marcus was faster. With a quiet device, he released the lock and stepped inside. The princess hesitated, then nodded. She gathered her few belongings, her mind full of questions. Together they walked out of the chamber and down the palace halls. The king heard the noise and came running. He reached the great hall just in time. "To see the princess and Marcus leaving through the palace gates! Stop them!" the king shouted. But his voice was lost in the noise. Outside, the people gasped. A human had taken the alien princess away. The king stood powerless, watching his daughter disappear into the sky aboard the strange ship. On the human ship, the princess looked out the window at her home planet growing smaller. Marcus sat beside her, calm but respectful. "Why did you take me?" Liara asked, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "Because your world and mine face dangers," Marcus said. "We need to talk, not as enemies, but as allies." Liara frowned. "My father will never agree. He thinks humans are weak." Marcus shook his head. "He does not see the truth yet. Earth has survived many wars and grown strong." The ship jumped into faster-than-light speed, and the stars stretched into lines. The princess's thoughts raced. Her life had changed in a moment. She did not know what the future held, but she knew one thing. She must be strong. Back on Xylar, the king sat on his throne, staring at the empty place where his daughter once stood. His advisors whispered warnings about humans and their growing power. The humans will come to claim more, one said. King Therax closed his eyes. No, he whispered. I will find a way to bring her back. I am the king. I am strong. But deep inside, the king felt a seed of doubt. The human's boldness was unlike anything he had seen. His daughter was gone, taken by a species he did not understand. The court was restless. The people feared what this might mean, but the king's pride kept him silent. He would wait and watch. For now, there was nothing he could do. On the human ship, the princess and Marcus talked late into the long hours of space travel. They shared stories about their worlds, their fears and hopes. Slowly, the princess's anger softened. She saw the humans' respect for her and her people. Marcus told her about Earth's struggles, how humans fought hard to protect their homes and grow stronger in the galaxy. Liara began to understand that this human was different, not a kidnapper, but a leader with a purpose. As the ship sped on, the princess looked forward to the court of Earth. She knew her life would never be the same. The adventure she had dreamed of was finally here. The human ship moved fast through the stars, carrying Princess Liara farther from her home than she had ever been before. The world she knew, the tall towers of Xylar, the hot twin suns, the proud faces of her people, all grew smaller behind. Her Princess Liara sat quietly in a room on the ship, her eyes watching the endless black outside the window. The stars were strange and beautiful, but they reminded her of how far she was from home. She felt a deep mix of fear, anger, and curiosity. What kind of place was this Earth that Marcus Kane, the human commander, called home? Marcus sat near her, speaking gently. Liara, I know this is hard. You have lost your freedom for now, but I promise it is for a reason. Liara looked at him sharply. Why did you take me without asking? You say it is for peace, but it feels like a prison. Marcus nodded. I understand. On Earth, people fight to protect what they love. We have many enemies. If your world and mine do not work together, both will fall. Liara stared into space. She was the daughter of a king, raised to trust only her people. But something about Marcus's words felt true. The galaxy was not as safe as she had believed. For days, the ship traveled through space. Marcus showed her the ship's command center, where humans worked with machines that could bend space and time. The technology was unlike anything Xylar had. Liara was amazed and a little afraid. Your technology is powerful, she said one day. Marcus smiled. It took us centuries to build it. But strength is not just machines. It is people, their will, and their heart. Liara thought about her own people. The Xylari were strong fighters, but sometimes too proud to see beyond their traditions. Maybe humans had something she could learn. Meanwhile, back on Xylar, King Therax could not forget the sight of his daughter leaving. His advisors came daily with news and suggestions. Send ships to chase them, one shouted. Humans will not return her willingly, another warned. The king shook his head. No, we must be wise. The humans are clever. They do not show all their cards. Still, his heart burned with anger and worry. He had lost control. The princess was gone and the galaxy was changing fast. On the ship, Marcus and Liara grew to understand each other more. They shared stories of their worlds, their families, and their hopes. Liara learned how humans lived, their struggles, and their strength. You are not like I imagined, Liara said one evening. You are strong, but also kind. Marcus smiled softly. Humans must be both to survive. Maybe you will see your own strength in new ways. Liara looked out at the stars. For the first time, she wondered if her future was not just with her father's kingdom, but somewhere bigger. After many light years, the ship approached a huge space station orbiting a blue and green planet, Earth. The Court of Earth, Marcus said proudly. A place where many worlds come to talk and decide their future. Liara's heart raced. The court was a new world, full of people and power she had never seen. She felt small but ready. Landing inside the court was like entering a new universe. People from many planets, many species, moved with purpose and strength. The human king's palace stood tall in the center, shining with bright lights. Marcus guided Liara through the crowds. Some looked curious, some suspicious, but no one stopped them. At last, they entered the throne room. The human king, a tall man with calm eyes and a strong voice, sat waiting. His name was King Elias. Princess Liara, King Elias said with respect, "We welcome you to Earth's court. You are far from home, but here you are safe." Liara bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I come with questions and hope." The days that followed were full of talks and meetings. The princess saw how the court worked, not just by birth or strength, but by wisdom and cooperation. She watched the human king lead with patience, listening to many voices. One night, King Elias invited Liara to walk with him in the palace gardens. "Your father fears what he does not understand," Elias said softly, "but you must decide your own path." Liara looked at the stars above. "I want to be strong like him, but I also want to help my people." "You will need both," the king smiled. "And sometimes, strength means choosing new allies." Far away, King Therax grew restless. His pride was wounded, but deep inside he worried for his daughter. Spies brought him news. Earth was powerful, and the humans were clever diplomats. He knew a war with them would be dangerous. Yet to admit defeat was hard for a Xylari king. Back in the court, Liara began to learn Earth's ways, its politics, its people, and its strengths. She trained with human warriors, learning new fighting styles. She met other alien visitors, some friendly, some wary. Marcus remained by her side, a steady friend and guide. "Your father's world is proud," Marcus said one day, "but the galaxy will respect strength in many forms." Liara nodded. "I will show them what I have learned." The Court of Earth was unlike anything Princess Liara had ever seen before. It was a place full of energy, power, and endless activity. Everywhere she looked, there were beings from many worlds. Some were tall and strong, others small and quick. All moved with purpose. The palace itself was a blend of technology and art, shining with bright light and humming with quiet machines. Liara had spent weeks learning about this new world. She met leaders, diplomats, and warriors. She trained with Earth's best fighters, learning their ways and sharing her own skills. Slowly, she was no longer just a captive or visitor. She was becoming part of this place. King Elias, the ruler of Earth, watched her with careful eyes. He saw in her a strength beyond her royal blood. She was smart, quick to learn, and brave. But the court was not without danger. There were many who did not want an alien princess in their midst. Some whispered that Liara was a threat, a symbol of the human's weakness or a pawn for Xylar. One day, as the princess walked through the palace halls, she overheard voices in a shadowed corner. "She is too dangerous," said a man in a dark uniform. "If she gains power, our influence will fade." "She should be returned to her father or worse," said a woman with cold eyes. Liara's heart tightened. The court was full of politics and power games, just like her own world. She would need to be careful. King Elias knew the risks. He called a meeting with his closest advisors. "We must protect the princess," he said firmly. "She is more than a guest. She is a bridge between worlds. But some fear what she represents," one advisor said. "The alien king will not rest until she is back." Elias nodded. "We must show strength. We cannot let fear control us." The king sent more guards to watch over Liara and tightened security around the palace. But he also encouraged her to take part in court affairs. He believed she had a role to play in Earth's future. Meanwhile, on Xylar, King Therax was restless. His pride was hurt by the loss of his daughter, but he was also worried. Spies reported strange events in the court of Earth. The princess was learning their ways, making friends, and growing stronger. The king realized he might have underestimated the humans. He called his council. "We cannot wait," he said. "If we lose her, we lose our power. We must act." Plans began to form. Secret missions, alliances with other alien worlds, and warnings sent to Earth. The galaxy was tense, and a storm was coming. Back on Earth, Liara began to face her own challenges. Some court members tried to isolate her, refusing to work with an alien. She felt the weight of many eyes watching, waiting for a mistake. One day, during a council meeting, a sharp-tongued official spoke out. "Why should Earth trust an alien? She serves her own king. Not us." Liara stood, her voice clear and strong. "I am here because my world and yours face the same dangers. Together, we are stronger." Her words surprised many. She spoke not as a princess bound by old rules, but as a leader ready to build a new future. King Elias smiled quietly. He knew the princess was ready to face the court. He arranged for her to lead a diplomatic mission to a neighboring system known for its hostility. "This will be your test," Elias told her. "Show them your strength and wisdom." Liara accepted. She gathered a team of humans and aliens and prepared for the journey. The mission was dangerous. The neighboring system's rulers were proud and suspicious, but Liara's calm courage and honest words won respect. She negotiated peace talks that surprised many. When she returned, the court saw her in a new light. She was no longer just a princess from another world. She was a leader and a symbol of hope. King Therax watched these events with growing anger. He sent his own envoy to Earth, demanding Liara's return. But King Elias refused. "We protect those who seek peace here," Elias said firmly. "Your daughter chose her path." The alien king was powerless to fight openly, but began plotting in the shadows. His pride would not let him lose so easily. As Liara's influence grew, so did the challenges. Rival factions tried to discredit her. Rumors spread about her loyalty and intentions. She faced moments of loneliness and doubt, but Marcus Kane stayed by her side. His friendship and steady belief in her gave her strength. "You have changed many minds already," Marcus said one evening. "Keep going. The galaxy is watching." Liara looked out at the stars from the palace balcony. She thought of Xylar, of her father, and of the new home she was finding here. She was no longer just a princess taken by a human. She was a force to be reckoned with. The Court of Earth had become a new home for Princess Liara. She had earned respect and faced many challenges, but the danger was not over. The galaxy was watching, and the shadow of King Therax still loomed. After her successful mission to the hostile neighboring system, Liara's position at court was stronger. Many began to see her not just as an alien princess, but as a true leader. She had proven her courage, her wisdom, and her strength. Yet, some still whispered and plotted against her. One morning, as Liara trained with human warriors in the courtyard, a messenger arrived with urgent news. "Princess," the messenger said breathlessly, "there is trouble on Xylar. Your father's forces have begun a secret attack on a nearby human colony." Liara's eyes widened. "An attack? Why?" The messenger shook his head. "It seems your father will not accept the alliance. He sees humans as enemies." Liara clenched her fists. She thought of her father, the proud king who had lost her but refused to let go. She thought of the humans who had welcomed her and the fragile peace she was trying to build. Marcus Kane approached her, serious and steady. We must act fast. This attack could start a war. Liara nodded. We cannot let this happen. We must stop it. The news spread quickly through the court. King Elias called an emergency meeting of his council. We face a grave threat, Elias said firmly. Xylar's attack could ignite a war that destroys us all. The council was divided. Some wanted to retaliate with force. Others urged caution, hoping to find a peaceful way. Liara stood before the council, her voice clear and strong. My father fears change, but war will only bring pain to our people. I ask for a chance to speak with him, to find peace. King Elias looked at her with respect. You have the court's permission. Go. Liara prepared for the journey back to Xylar. It was a dangerous mission. She would face her father, the king who had lost control but still held power. She knew the risk. If he saw her as a traitor, she could lose everything. Marcus offered to join her. I will stand with you, he said simply. Liara smiled. Together, the human ship flew toward Xylar. As they neared the planet, Liara's heart pounded. The silver towers of her home gleamed under the twin suns, but the air felt heavy with tension. Landing in the royal city, Liara and Marcus were met by the king's guards. They allowed them inside, but the atmosphere was cold and tense. King Therax waited in the throne room. His face was hard, but his eyes held pain. Why have you come? He demanded. Liara stepped forward. Father, war will only destroy us. I have come to stop the fighting, to build a future where our people live in peace. The king's voice shook with anger. You stand with humans against your own blood? You are no longer my daughter. Liara's eyes burned with determination. I am still your daughter, but I see a future beyond old wars and pride. We can be stronger together. For a long moment, the king was silent. Then, slowly, he nodded. I will listen, he said, but know this, my people's honor will not be broken. Liara and King Therax spoke for hours, discussing fears, hopes, and the truth of their worlds. She told him of Earth's strength and kindness. He shared the pain of losing his daughter and the fear of change. In the end, they reached a fragile agreement to halt the attacks and open talks for peace. It was the first step toward healing old wounds. Returning to Earth, Liara was greeted as a hero. The court celebrated the new hope she had brought. But Liara knew the work was far from over. She had faced her father and found a way to begin peace. She had shown that strength was not only in power but in understanding, yet the galaxy was still full of threats. Rival worlds watched closely, some eager to see the alliance fail. Liara and King Elias prepared their defenses and worked to build stronger bonds. The princess had become a symbol, not just of an alien taken to court, but of a new future where different worlds could unite. At night, as she looked at the stars, from the palace balcony, Liara thought of her father. She hoped he would find peace in his heart. Marcus stood beside her, steady and strong. We have come far, he said softly, but the real battle is still ahead. Liara smiled, her eyes shining. Then we will face it together. The fragile peace that Princess Liara and King Therax had helped build was about to face its greatest test. The galaxy, once silent, was now buzzing with rumors of rebellion and war. Powerful forces opposed the alliance between Xylar and Earth. Many feared that the bond between a human king and an alien princess could upset the delicate balance of power. Liara stood in the grand hall of Earth's palace, her heart steady, but her mind alert. She knew this moment was critical. She was no longer just a visitor or a pawn. She was a leader fighting for the future of many worlds. Beside her stood King Elias and Commander Marcus Kane, both ready to stand with her against any threat. The news came quickly. A hostile alien, empire, known as the Varkon, had gathered a massive fleet near the borders of the Allied worlds. The Varkon did not trust the new peace and planned to crush the alliance before it grew stronger. King Elias called an emergency council. Leaders from many planets gathered, their faces serious and determined. "This is a war we cannot ignore," Elias said. "The Varkon see us as weak. We must show them our strength." Liara stepped forward. "The Varkon believe that fear will break us. But our strength is in unity. We will fight together, humans, Zilari, and all our allies." The council agreed to prepare defenses and send envoys to gather more support. Meanwhile, King Tharax faced his own doubts. His daughter's courage had changed him, but his old pride still burned. Some of his advisors pushed for war, others for peace. The king chose a middle path, strengthening defenses while seeking ways to avoid full conflict. He sent a message to Liara. "Daughter, the path ahead is hard, but I trust you to lead with honor. May your strength guide us." Liara read the message with a mix of sadness and hope. Her father had changed, slowly but truly. The first battle came near the moon of Virax, a key outpost protecting Earth's borders. The Varkon fleet attacked with heavy firepower, expecting a quick victory. But the alliance was ready. Humans and Zilari fought side by side. Liara led a squadron of starships, her skills honed by months of training with Earth's warriors. Chapter. Battle was fierce. Explosions lit the dark space. Ships twisted and turned, firing energy blasts. Liara's ship moved with speed and precision. She gave orders calmly, inspiring her team. Marcus flew close beside her, covering her six. "Keep going," he shouted. "We hold this line." After hours of fighting, the Varkon began to retreat. The Allied forces had won the battle. Back on Earth, the victory was celebrated, but there was no time for rest. Liara knew the war was far from over. The Varkon would return, stronger and more determined. She met with King Elias and Marcus to plan the next steps. "We need to unite more." "Worlds," Liara said. "We must show the galaxy that peace is worth fighting for," Elias agreed. "You have done well, Liara. Your courage is a beacon." Marcus smiled. "And we will stand with you no matter what comes." As the war continued, Liara became a symbol of hope across many planets. Stories of the alien princess fighting alongside humans spread. People began to believe in the power of unity and strength through cooperation. Even on Xylar, her people watched with mixed feelings: pride, hope, and fear. One night, as Liara rested in her chamber, she received a message from her father. "Daughter, you have made me proud. You are a true leader. I will send my warriors to join your fight." Tears filled Liara's eyes. After so much struggle, her father was finally with her. The final battle came near the edge of the galaxy. The Varkon launched their largest attack, determined to crush the alliance once and for all. The Allied fleet, now strengthened with Xylar's warriors, stood ready. Liara stood on the command bridge of her flagship, calm and focused. "Today, we fight not just for our worlds," she said, "but for the future of all life in the galaxy." The battle was brutal. Ships exploded, stars blinked with fire, and the cries of warriors filled the void. Liara and Marcus fought side by side, leading their forces with courage. Slowly, the Varkon forces weakened. The alliance's unity was stronger than any weapon when the battle ended. The galaxy was silent. The Allied forces had won. The Varkon retreated, defeated. Liara looked out at the stars, feeling a deep peace. She thought of her father, the human king, and the friends she had made. The galaxy had changed forever. King Tharax visited Earth shortly after the victory. He stood beside his daughter, proud but humble. You have shown us all what true strength is, he said, not in power alone, but in unity. The court celebrated their new alliance, humans, Zilari, and many others. Liara smiled, knowing her journey was only beginning. Together they would build a galaxy where many worlds could live in peace. Tay. Story ends with hope and promise. The alien princess, taken by a human, became a leader who changed the fate of many worlds. The king watched, no longer powerless, but proud of the future they created together.